Today is the 13th of August 2019. My name is Martin James Lynch from Tasmania, and today I'm going to read to you and read you into Majestic Intelligence Agency, Law Enforcement, Space Force and Defence to the Integrity. Acronym MIA.LSD-i. Attention. Attention Scott Morrison. Attention Governor General. Attention Queen Elizabeth. Attention Trump, the White House, the CIA, Gina Haspel. Attention Putin, Kremlin and Japan. Today I'm creating dialogue, and I also thank you for my protection. Like all great creations and God's creations, there is evolution. I've evolved. Jesus was the son of the sun. He brought the light and took away the darkness. I am the son of the black hole. Everything is just so attracted to myself, to the drones, to the satellites, to what is Martin up to today. The snake said, do not eat the fruit, the apple. The apple was code for the magic mushroom. Like most tricks, the mushroom brought the aliens. Like all things that mushrooms do, and things that mushroom, nukes brought them as well, but for the wrong reasons. The aliens, the ETs, were in fear for our safety and security and our future. The extraterrestrials, aka the aliens, pose no threat. I'm wanting to upscale my protection with all parties being on one page. All parties, at the moment, and current standing members of the G20, plus North Korea, are to be a part of MIA. This is yet to be added to and yet to be negotiated, and yes, we can look at it and we could probably add every country on there if we wish. But at the moment, we're wanting to start up the headquarters in Tasmania. And guess what? Like every card game, there has to be a wild card. The wild card is Iran. If Iran, and only when Iran, gets its act together and gets in contact with Trump, or the White House, or the CIA, Gina Haspel, with the same, and to present itself with the same energy and intent as Kim Jong-un from North Korea has shown for his country within the conflict that was going on to show peace and prosperity for a universal code of conduct in universal peace, protection, prosperity, and being genuine and forming close ties in evolving from a self-destruction of oneself and future. First of all, we could denuclearise the planet. We could send it towards a black hole. That's not me, but actually a black hole. I was only joking about being a black hole. I'm just a singularity. So Iran has the end of the month to show signs of peace and open dialogue and connect and make contact with all our allies, or any of our allies, or even North Korea, and they can be invited to MIA. I'm appointing Trump, Putin and Kim to be optimistic about this, and to be open, and appointing them to open an intelligence gathering to present any positive or negative data to mainstream media for myself to witness and view. Clause or negatives being of violating this invite will be of the nature of aggression, damage of allies' interests, assets, material, even in expression of haste in communication, which will have them off the cards. If this is to be negative, they will be red flagged. They will be flagged, and the invite will be over. They will have no invite MIA. Trust me, guys, you want to be a part of this. So, Iran, what will help your position? It is showing and presenting and representing love and positive unification and communication, shown in a form of intelligence and smartness. Note, you are not allowed to vent. You are allowed to vent and express your concerns if you feel you have been unrightly treated and violated in any way. But please do not express fire with fire and fight fire with fire. MIA staff. Well, myself is to be the director, and I've only got people that I know down here at the moment, but every country that is under the G20 has to assign their own people for this. But basically, I'm the director. John McGregor, my good friend, is to be the public relations. Chris Mister in arts, youth recorrection. Dan Lucas, financial. Alana, arts and youth mentor. Jane Lynch and Jen Taylor, admin and personal assistants. James Bishop and Dan Borders in IT and cybersecurity advisors and technicians. George Kiskaridis to be the agency staff enrolment intake executive advisor. So basically what that means is if everyone that's going to be coming through to be enrolled, he has to say if they're a good egg or they're a bad egg. Joanne Reynolds to be an intelligence agent. Mary to be an undercover agent. Mark Lynch to be a purchasing officer and ins and outs and also project management. The Checker, arts and social media. HB, my good old HB that made me where I am today, he used to be MIA's president. Joanne Redpath to be arts and prison reform. Mick Williams from Anglesey Barracks that I met to be the vice president. First stage, all members of the G20 plus North Korea to create dialogue, close ties and forming MIA.LSD-i in Tasmania, headquarters Australia. All parties are to select a not yet negotiated amount of members personnel to forming a part of their country to form a part of MIA headquarters. All personnel selected by the country will be put under a second screening enrolment by myself, HB, Trump, Gina and Putin. If the board, that being myself, HB, Trump and Putin and Gina, find any problems with the nominated personnel by that country to join MIA, a secret meeting will be held. The board, myself, Putin, HB and Trump, will express our concerns, either it to be worked out or for that member to be scrapped and kicked off and not nominated to be entered into MIA. If the nominated country, i.e. Iran, has too many selected nominations like being rejected, so say they were to employ 1,000 people to be assigned to MIA and 700 out of the 1,000 were like these people are just, absolute douchebags, well, it would be rejected and basically they'd be scrapped off the list. This goes for any country, any country. Headquarters is to be in Tasmania, either Tolosa Park or Bruny Island. Funding. I prefer if our government, or all membering governments, don't empty all their pockets and all their bank accounts. I'm a dreamer. I'm chasing and hoping for our collective effort in brainstorming from the present to the future in getting the Federal Reserve to print MIA some new bills. Just a ballpark figure, but I was hoping for a starting initial startup cost of $1.75 trillion US. Now, this can be a grant with no payback, with not yet stated clause in Protection Act. If the funding is to be a loan, an interest-free loan, yet to be negotiated. If it is to be interest, not yet negotiated. If it is to be rejected, laughed out of the room, all member countries will have to form a kitty of the government and private funding to form MIA. It's not just all for Australia, the US to put the funding in, every country has to put funding in. But note, if the Federal Reserve rejects any form of funding, the first operational project will be Interdriven. What is Interdriven? It is my movie. Look it up on YouTube. It is going to be the biggest movie ever. And trust me, our collective intelligence gathering within the US, Russia and China, well, it's open to the imagination, but the Federal Reserve won't be getting help and support and advisory from us. It'll be quite the opposite. If we get a grant, which is no repayments, the Federal Reserve will get a 20% share of net profits of MIA's mint of rare ET and alien elements and minerals to form our new mint. Note, and no interest, which means we pay back with no interest, they will receive a 1% gross profits of the mint. If we get laughed at, if we do not get any word back, even though we've got to get back to you, and they think we're a bunch of idiots, well, let me guess, it's not going to help them in any way at all. We'll even pay them for the paper it's printed on, because that's all it's worth. Second priority after Interdriven will be MIA's mint, changing the world currency, making the Federal Reserve redundant. At the same time, we will make it evident and clear and correct in showing the true colours of the Federal Reserve members and owners by asking the world, the universe, the aliens, and God to say, can we see the satellite footage? Open to the imagination, broadcasted on everyone's TVs. Did someone say to the stories? Did someone say to God's breath? Did someone say, holy shit? It is not a laughing matter, it's quite serious, it's quite sick, and an end has to come to it. Over and out. God bless, take it easy, and catch you later. Wop, 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 wop. Wop, 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 wop. What was that? It's the aliens! Here's your funding, MIA. Okay, we'll stop the aliens coming after you.